So what is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And we talked about this. You know, I had a bunch of naysayers coming at me a few months back when I said that the 6.4 liter Hemi was going to be showing up in the Gladiator, and that not just the 6.4 Hemi, but the 5.7 liter Hemi as well would show up in multiple Jeeps. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, TK. Oh, I don't know where you get the information, TK. Oh, this is bullshit. And they even had people that worked as suppliers and the like, coming out and saying, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, meaning me. Well, obviously I do, because the 6.4 liter Gladiator has been announced. And recently, Bob, the CEO over there at Jeep, has come out and said that they're going to Hemi everything. Which, by the way, Hemi everything shirts are available over at tksgarage.com, and you can get entered in to win a Ram 1500 Laramie if you want to do that. It's very simple to do. Just go to tksgarage.com, pick up anything on the store. $1 equals one entry. There you have it. And that's for the rest of the month of August. Now, this is crazy, right? Because it was one thing that we knew that they were going to do different things, but for the CEO of Jeep to basically come out and say, oh yeah, no, we're going to Hemi everything. But they're not just going to Hemi everything. And I have a separate video on the Pentastar on, is it going to go away? Because the vehicles that were getting Pentastar engines are now getting Hemis. Now, if you didn't know, the 3.6 liter engine is pretty much the staple at Jeep when it comes to the Wrangler and the Gladiator. But it looks like the times of that are coming to an end. Now, there is a new engine that's showing up in the Jeep Grand Cherokee that I got an opportunity to see while I was up in Detroit. Now, we already knew about the 2.0 liter. I think it's a hybrid. I guess that's part of the hybrid thing that they have coming out, but I don't think they're going to do a lot of the 4xe stuff moving forward either. I think they're just going to have that 2.0 liter turboed 4-cylinder in a lot of these products. Now, I believe that's what it was that was in the Grand Cherokee that I got to see while I was up in Detroit. And look, I get it. I know why people are totally against turbocharged engines. You know, they don't have the same reliability and life expectancy of a non-forced induction engine. I know exactly, I drive a twin turbo V8 BMW, so I know exactly what you mean there in terms of turbo maintenance and the like. But I was very, I will say that I was impressed by what that vehicle was able to do in terms of like how it felt driving. It didn't feel slow or laggy. And I know some of you GM guys will be in my comment, well, the Silverado has a 4-cylinder in it and it's fine. Yeah, but that's like the, Jesus Christ. Full-size trucks should never have a 4-cylinder in it. I don't care how big the turbo is. That said, I think that the 4-cylinder that's going to show up in the Grand Cherokee is going to be like the base option. And then you're going to have the 5.7 liter Hemi option, and maybe even an SRT 6.4 liter option. And I know this is why you're probably here. You know, people said, are they going to bring back a TrackHawk? There will be an SRT division vehicle from every single brand. I know that for a fact now. As of information I got this morning, there are SRT products being built at every single brand, except Fiat. But I know it's part of Mopar now, but Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Chrysler is getting an SRT. I know you're going to say they're not going to SRT the minivan. Maybe. SRT at Chrysler, SRT at Dodge, SRT at Jeep, and SRT at Ram. You're going to see all of that. Now, I know you're going to say, well, that's because of the TRX. Yes, but there's going to be more. You're going to see, like we already saw some of the stuff that they put out at Roadkill at Ram with the 1500 Ram with the 5.7 and the Whipple supercharger on it from Direct Connection to pretty much compete with Ford. And I think they're going to do the same thing with Jeep. They're going to make that same package available at direct connection with a 5.7 in the Jeep Grand Cherokee. And, they would make it available in the Gladiator and the Wrangler as well. They're going all in on horsepower, and Jeep is no different. The only thing I think people are going to be disappointed in is, from what I'm being told at this point, the Halo or the TrackHawk, you remember the TrackHawk was a Grand Cherokee. What I'm being told now is there may be an SRT 8 version of that vehicle, but like the Granddaddy SRT version is actually going to be a Wagoneer. Yeah, they're going to try to compete with the Escalade V, and I don't hate it. It just depends on. I think they have to 426 that vehicle. Like, that's now that fuel economy cafe standards is not a thing. SRT as a division, is it a brand? We'll talk about that in a separate video. But SRT as a division no longer has to worry about these cafe standards, right? That went out the window. So they could build a Grand Wagoneer with a 426 Hemi in it that would put the Demon 170 engine to shame. I'm talking 1,200 horsepower, 1,100 horsepower Grand Wagoneer. Yeah, that would basically squat and piss. I don't know where that came from. Squat and piss. Oh my God. That would basically squat and piss on an Escalade V. There you have it. But I'd love to know what you guys think. What do you guys think about the news that's already come out? What do you think about the CEO of Jeep saying that they're going to Hemi everything and they're going to put Hemis in much more products? I like it. And it's going to make them more affordable, because that was the thing with the Wrangler. When they came out with the 392 Wrangler, they were $100,000 Wrangler. Nobody's buying that, man. Nobody's buying that. But if we look at the Durango as any kind of idea of what could be coming, if we look at the Durango of any idea of what could be coming, I think we see, I think what we get here is a ton of horsepower at affordable prices. And when I mean affordable today, not affordable in 2018, 2017. The Durango where it is now, the GT, which is basically what the RT was with the 5.7 Hemi in it, at 42,500, I think is where it is. Like somewhere around 42, 43 grand. That is an absolute friggin' win. If they're going to be able to do that with, say, the Gladiator with a 5.7 in it, I think they fly off the dealership lots, and Jeep knows it. Look, say what you want, and I see the comments, and people are saying, oh, because you've met some of these people at Roadkill Nights, you're being nice to them. Oh, I'm not. That has nothing to do with it. I'm always respectful. I'm not a dick. Unless somebody is disrespectful to me, and these guys didn't do anything but show me nothing but hospitality. That said, I'm still going to be honest with my audience and let you know this sucks, this doesn't suck. Told him directly to his face the same thing. That's why I think he respects, I'm talking about Tim Kuniskis. I think he respects when we come out and say so. And I'm not a member of the regular press. I don't get press invites or press releases. I just fucking show up. It's facts. Butter will tell you. I wasn't supposed to be there. All right. So I didn't get any special invite. They didn't pay for my goddamn airfare. They're not paying for me. They didn't pay for those, $600-700 bar tabs for me and the homies. That was all me. And I like it that way. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with Jeep. Because I think Antonio Filosa himself, Italian or not Italian, whatever, is already in going, I know these are the brands that are going to make us money. These are the brands that are going to dig us out of a $4.5 or $5.5 billion friggin' hole between the tariffs and the losses that they've already had in the first quarter. But I did tell you, and I will make a separate video on this, when I was going to be going in on buying stock, when I was going to jump in with both feet. And at the conclusion here of this third quarter, you guys are gonna know. We're gonna do a video on it. I'm gonna show you how much I invested, all of that. So stay tuned. And if I do it before, if I jump in before the third quarter announcement, I'll let you guys know. But I actually have optimism for the brands moving forward. I honestly didn't think that they were going to be able to turn things around as fast as they did. And I know to like the Wall Street retards that they're looking at numbers and whatever, but I can tell you this, they're on emergency shifts at Sterling Heights Assembly right now. And I mean, so is Kokomo, by the way. Kokomo just hit emergency status too for transmissions. Why? According to my sources, they just got another 15,000 unit order for Rams. With what in it? Oh, say it with me. Oh, Hemis. Fucking Hemis. That's what. Hemis. Hemi engines. Hemi everything. Like a little demergers on the store. Hemi everything. That's it. It sells. I don't give a shit. I've seen the comments from you Euro retards in my comments going, oh, the Hemi sucks. It's underpowered. The Hurricane's better. Cool. Well, when you sort out all the issues with the Hurricane and shit, that would be great in like, a baby mama's car, or, the soccer mom's vehicle, or, the Pacifica or something. I don't need that shit in my truck. I don't need it in my Jeep. I sure as hell don't. I mean, look, I'm a BMW guy. I like inline six engines. You already know this. The 540, the 340, the M240 in the garage. I like the B58. I love the inline six engines. I'm not hating on the Hurricane for that. I already told you I was impressed by what I saw at Roadkill Nights by riding in and driving the inline six Hurricane Charger. That said, not a muscle car. Muscle cars, V8. And they're going to bring it. I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to bring it. But this video is about Jeep. For you guys that are Jeep fanatics and have been LS swapping Wranglers, Gladiators, putting Hellcat engines and stuff, or buying 6.4 crate motors and building your own instead of paying 100 racks at a dealership plus, bend over fees. Listen, it's coming. The end of 2026 going into 2020, the end of 2025 going into 2026. 2026 is going to be a huge year for Jeep, I think. And it's also going to be a huge year for Ram. I told you guys this, and you guys will see, I'll actually be on Bloomberg on Thursday morning. So if you watch Bloomberg TV, I'll be in there talking about this because I believe they're doing a spot on some of the automotive stocks. So I will be on Bloomberg. If you guys want to check that out, I'll let you guys know. I'll send a thing or whatever on the community post before I go on air if you guys want to watch that. But I will be discussing the same thing because I think that, and I shouldn't say I think. I'm at a point where I could say I know, but I think I have to be careful because of financial disclosure. I have to say think. I think they're going to turn it around here in the fourth quarter. I think this year as a whole on the books is probably going to look like shit at Stellantis, but I think they have enough cash on hand to make it through this year. And with Tim Kuniskis' leadership on SRT and Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, as far as just looking over those brands, if they can get Christine to somehow get her head out of her ass and start doing something at Chrysler, and Bob keeps doing what he's doing, and Matt's doing at Jeep, and Matt's doing what he's doing at Dodge, I think Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram would be able to lift the whole company as a whole of Stellantis out of the damn hole. There's some things coming from Alpha, there's some stuff coming from Fiat and some stuff coming from Maserati that are interesting. But I think they have to, and I think Antonio's going to do that. They're going to reevaluate some of those brands. I think they need to go upmarket with Maserati. Stop making food stamp fucking Maseratis. Kill the Ghibli, get rid of that piece of shit. Start making quality, hand-built Italian cars with Maserati and charge money for that shit. People will buy it. You don't have to put out 70,000 units a year. Get rid of that shit. Fiat, that's different. You put that out to the masses in Europe, make whatever the hell you want to do. And same thing with Alpha. Let that be your BMW. But we'll see. I know you're going to say, well, what about Opel? What about DS? What about Lancia? I think there's too many brands, if you want me to be honest. They need to use some of that, sell some of that shit, get some capital, and focus on the brands that actually make them money. And I know you're going to say I'm being biased because I'm American and I'm focused here. But I'm not just an American car nut. I'm a BMW guy too. I have a garage full. Literally. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you think about this move with Jeep, Hemi and everything? Oh, and you know, before I go, I have to say I told you so. So all the people that were like, oh, you didn't know what you're talking about. I got a pinky up for you bums one time. But anyways, until next time, thank you guys very much for watching. I truly appreciate it. As soon as I hear anything else about this Wagoneer, whether it's going to be called a TrackHawk or whatever they're going to call it, I'm going to let you know. And don't think I don't have my ears everywhere, because I do. Until next time, stay petty, my friends.